For the best value in domain names, look no further than Namecheap, where you could get domains for as low as $3.98, plus get 1 year of WhoIsGuard privacy protection for free. For more information, check out the affiliate link in the description area below. Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. On my continuing series on making the move from Windows or Mac over to Linux, today I'm going to be talking about computer freezes and how you could deal with that within Linux. Now, if you've not seen my original video where I show you how to install VirtualBox and then install Linux Mint within VirtualBox, be sure to check it out in the description area below. Now, in the whole Linux world, a lot of people will praise how stable Linux is. And for the majority of users, it is way more stable than what you would get in Windows. However, if you are the type of person who does a lot of experimenting, like you like to try out the latest distro or the latest kernel, then you might have more stability issues. But in Windows, all of us are familiar with the whole command Control Alt Delete. What then that would do is bring up your task manager where you could actually see all the programs that are running, and then you could also kill the processes that are actually causing the problems. Now, in the whole Linux world, if you type in Control Alt Delete, it'll only bring up a logout option, okay? So it doesn't actually bring up a task manager. Now, within Linux, there are a few ways that you could deal with computer freezes. There are the more technical ways, and then there's the more, in my opinion, the more easy, direct approach, okay? So I'm going to show you both ways. So first, let me show you the Linux task manager, okay? So if you go here, go to administration, and then you'll find something called System Monitor. Okay, here you could see all the processes that are running. You could see the actual resources being used on your system, and you could also see the amount of space that's taken up on your storage. So here on your processes, you could actually click on the process, you could end the process, or you could right click on your mouse and use the kill command. Now the kill command is very powerful because unlike the end processes, which will close your program, but there could be some processes that are still running, the kill command will actually kill everything related to that process. So it'll end everything related to that program immediately. Okay, now if your computer does freeze, you might not be able to get to the system monitor. So here are some more technical ways to get there to kill a process. Okay, one way is to type in Alt F2, and that'll bring up a dialog box. And here you could type in gnome-terminal, and what that would do is bring up your terminal screen. Okay, so there is an easier way to do that. So let me exit. You could also type in Control Alt T, and it'll bring up the terminal right away without you having to type in gnome terminal. Now here is where things can get a little technical. One thing you can do is type in PSEF, and that'll show all the processes that are running, similar to what you saw in System Monitor. And here you can use the kill command to actually kill the process, which is the PID that's causing the problem. However, I think for a lot of new users, that's a little too technical. So if you did want to use this, but you didn't want to type in the process, you can use a command called xkill. And then you press enter, and a little cursor will show up, a little X, and whatever you use the cursor on, it'll kill all the processes related to that. So this is exactly the same process that happens when you are in the system monitor and then you right click and kill. That's actually what it's doing. And so do that and it'll kill everything. Now, for people who don't want to have to go through all of that, they can also assign different shortcuts. Okay, like you really want to, say you really want to use the system monitor instead, okay, but you wanted to use a shortcut to get there. One of the ways you can do that is to assign a shortcut. So if you go here to menu, go to preferences and go to keyboards, you see that there is an option here called shortcuts. Okay, now within shortcuts there are already some default shortcuts assigned, like the logout that we saw, Control Alt Delete, or a shutdown, and there's many other shortcuts. Now you can also add your own custom shortcuts. Okay, so here you could say add custom shortcut. Okay, and so here I want to add a custom shortcut for the system monitor. In this case, let's just call it the task manager, as most people are familiar with that. But here Linux is going to ask you the command to run. Okay, now for the system monitor, the command is actually called gnome system monitor. So let me bring that up. Type in gnome system monitor, and then it'll bring up the system monitor. That's actually what we want to bring up. Now, if you are not familiar with what command to actually type in, let me show you a simple way to do that. Okay, so if you go here, go to the system monitor, add this, right click and add this to your panel, okay? So if you go here and you right click and you look at edit, it tells you the command that it runs to bring this up, okay? So now you know what command to put here. So I'm gonna copy that, put it right there, okay, and add. Now I have this new shortcut, but it doesn't have any keyboard shortcuts assigned to it yet. So here, I'll go here, double click on it, and now I could type in the shortcut command. Now be sure that you don't use a command that's already being used elsewhere. So I'm going to put Control Alt M, and that is my shortcut command, okay? So here, if I type in Control Alt M, or if I press Control Alt M, there it is. There's my new shortcut. It brings up the system monitor. Okay, so those are a few methods. You know, one is the more technical one. This is a more shortcut way. And now I'm going to tell you the easiest, simple, direct approach, okay? One of which is Control Alt Escape. Now, if you do Control Alt Escape, it'll actually log you out of your computer and go back into the login screen. So let me show you that there's already a built-in command for that. So let's go back to keyboards, and let's go back to shortcuts, and then system. And so this will restart Cinnamon, or this desktop environment. So when you type in Control Alt Escape, it'll actually log you out of the system, and so you can log back in. And then the final way is to simply press your power off button or your restart button. And so those are the last resort things. So there is multiple ways that you can actually get around computer freezes whenever you have them in Linux. And so hopefully that'll help you, for everybody who's familiar with the whole Control Alt Delete command. And so it is a little different in Linux, but you know, there is a way to get there, and there is a way to solve your problems whenever you run into these issues. So if you had any other thoughts on this, or any of your own commands, or any of your own workarounds for this, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And as always, if you did enjoy these videos, you got value out of them, leave a like and subscribe. And if you wanted to support my channel further, you can do that at patreon.com/Geek Outdoors. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com. And I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.